He told me when he asked me to come serve here, he said, "This is the most important country in the world to me." I think something that no American president has ever uttered in the history of our two countries. The US and India are a force for good and a powerful force to move this world forward. 4 million people who represent 1% of the population of America are now 6% of the tax base. The universe has a curious way of connecting people and dreams. And now suddenly I'm living that dream here when President Biden asked me to consider serving here. And he told me when he asked me to come serve here, he said, "This is the most important country in the world to me." I think something that no American president has ever uttered in the history of our two countries. I thought it was just Joe Biden, and he tells the candidate for ambassador to Liechtenstein, Liechtenstein's the most important country in the world, but he actually meant it because I heard him say it to the Prime Minister during the state visit. So this is a moment which even, I see Atul is here, who's spent time as Chief of Mission as well, and you've witnessed this history in multiple times coming here, that even friends of mine who were here 5 and 6 and 7 years ago say, even then when we thought this was new heights, never have we achieved, they can't believe what it's like here today. In the first 5 months of my time as ambassador, we'll have had a state visit, and those of you who follow diplomacy know if you can get 2 or 3 agreements out of a state visit, that's pretty successful. We had 131 different things that we were talking, from technology to trade, from the environment to women's empowerment, from small businesses to space. We used to say the sky's the limit, but now that we're working together in space, not even the sky is the limit. From the seabed to the heavens, the US and India are a force for good and a powerful force to move this world forward. So when you think of the role of the diaspora, certainly in the United States of America, we're 4 million people, about 1% of our population. I know that's a small neighborhood in India, but 4 million people who represent 1% of the population of America are now 6% of the tax base. They are 10% of Fortune 500 CEOs, the old joke which you couldn't succeed if you were Indian as a CEO. Now you have to be Indian to be a CEO in America. The investments that are going not just from America into India, but from India into America. The way Indians are strengthening our country and creating jobs in America. The old cliches of this being the back office is now this is the IP center. From biotech, where yesterday I saw a beautiful incarnation of this relationship where our NIAID, which is one of our research institutes, had 2 breakthroughs on dengue, gave the breakthroughs to 3 Indian companies, and one of them is already ready with all 4 strains of dengue, because it's almost impossible to get a vaccine that works on all 4, is in its phase 3 clinical trials. And India's brilliance of actually putting this together in a way that the United States never could, and America's brilliance at discovering this and sharing it with India, will not only maybe get to a day where dengue doesn't exist here in India, but anywhere in the world. When you see the work that we can do together, strategically, whether it's common threats, or whether it's deterrence out there, or just quite simply to make sure that 2 democracies have a vision on things like technology. We have one vision out there in the world that technology should oppress, can divide, and confuse. We have a vision as democracies that technology should connect, detect, respect us, and figure out a way that we can, at the end of the day, use that as a force for good, from artificial intelligence to quantum computing, from biotech to energy tech. This is that moment. But as much as government likes to brag about itself, government is very small compared to people. And so that's why I'm so committed to not only being with a group like you all tonight, but using the limited time I have here representing my country in India to strengthen the bridge from America to India.